code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. And teach your children well. Their fathers have did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the ones they pick, the ones you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Greetings, Midcoast Ukers. Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. Today I would like to talk about a very simple song. It's not going to take very long to discuss, but it is called Teach Your Children. One of our members, one of our senior members, if that gives away who it might be, really was trying to express that Crosby, Stills, and Nash is an important group, and also Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, but in this case Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And that we should cover some of their songs, you know, and I think that that was a very good idea. Didn't get a chance to implement that way back, but I'd like to make up for that by Teaching You Teach Your Children, which is a very accessible song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They have some more complex things, but this one I think you'll find nice and easy. We're going to first do it in the key of D, and then I'd like to transpose it and show it to you in a couple other keys. And I want to show you a couple of different strums too, because there are some options. When you listen to and or watch, if you get to see them live, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, they don't do exactly the same strum every time they play this song. There's 3 guitar players, by the way, Stephen Stills, David Crosby, and Graham Nash. They're all playing their Martin acoustic guitars and singing so beautifully, but they mix it up. So from concert to concert, TV appearance to TV appearance, they might play it differently. They might have different strums, and they might possibly do it with different energy levels. So there's a lot of variation, but I'm going to break it down for you and show you some of those variations that I see out there. Let me get my handy dandy sheet here. And what we're looking at is a D chord. To do it in the key that they do it, that is, a D chord. 2-2-2-0. I have my alternate fingering. If you don't like the traditional 1-2-3 fingering, use fingers 2-3-4. That's how I do it. Alright, so you have D, you have G, and you have A. Couldn't be simpler. So you have D for 2 measures, G for 2, D for 2, and now A for 2. And they often stop. They oftentimes hit a 1 strum on the last chord of the line or of the section. You'll notice that in the song. So that's the verse in D. The chorus is D to G, D to A. We do that again. D to G, to D, to A. Now the second half of the chorus. Don't you ever ask them why is G, B, D, but now B minor, G, A, and you always stop on A, and know they love you, which is where it starts up again. So that chorus, the latter half of the chorus was, don't you ever ask them why, D. If you told them, they would cry, or you would cry, I forget which it is, G, and then D. So just look at them and sigh, B minor, 4-2-2-2, and then A, and know they love you. So the main chord progression is basically D to G, D to A, over and over and over. So really simple. There will be a song sheet for this, so you'll be able to see it. that is it in the key of D. Let's talk really quick about strums, and then I'd like to transpose it. So what I was doing was I was trying to hit the strings closest to me first, maybe one or two of them, and then I was hitting 2 or 3 of the strings that are closer to the floor to get that boom chick type of strum that I've described before, or some people call it bass chord, near, far, top, bottom, however you want to think about it. It's such a common strum. It's really important to get this one down. So you can start with just hitting the nearest strings to you with your index finger once on a down, and then hit the strings furthest away from you once on a down with your index finger. Like this. That's the most basic strum maybe for this song. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by. So just bass chord is a good way to start. The predominant strum that you hear Crosby, Stills, and Nash do is down, 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 up, down. That's the heart of the song right there. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by. And then you do hear David Crosby, especially in the performances that I've watched, do a little bit more down-up action. He'll do down, down, up, down, up, down, up. He's a little more active, and Graham Nash is definitely more laid back. And Stephen Stills kind of plays more lead guitar on that song generally, so he's going to be even more laid back until it's time for his solos. So this is more or less David Crosby's part. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. And especially during the choruses, David Crosby gets a little more boisterous. Also, a word about dynamics. You want to start the verses pretty soft. You who are on the road. The singing is soft and the playing is softer. But then when it gets to the chorus, teach your children well. The voices swell and there's more harmonies. There's louder singing and there's louder playing. So be aware of that the dynamic should be softer verses, louder choruses. And you kind of build into those. Let's learn this in a different key now that we've talked about the original chords and we've talked about the different varieties of strum that you can do on this. Let's check out how you might do this, say, in the key of C. So the D chord is going to turn to a C chord. The G chord is going to turn to an F chord. And the A chord is going to turn to a G chord. These are all just the letter name in the musical alphabet before the ones we had before. D turns to C. G turns to F, excuse me. D turns to C, and then that minor chord, B minor, turns to A minor. So everything goes back one letter in the musical alphabet, like this. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. So it's still pretty singable, although this might be a little low for some higher voices. It's definitely easier on the fingers to play it this way. They're C, F, and G and A minor chords, which most beginner ukulele players can handle. The key of D isn't that much harder, though, so I do suggest that you learn it in both. And then you could transpose it to lots of other keys, too. But I'd say the key of D and the key of C are the most likely that a uke group would be playing this in. All right, Midcoast Ukers, I hope that quick and brief explanation of the song was enough. But, of course, as always, email me if anything didn't make sense, if you want some further clarification, or just some help. Just let me know. All right, Midcoast Ukers, you take care and teach your children well. Bye-bye.